Hello guys, welcome to our class for today. Today we are starting with SPSS. We have done Excel, or we have done several analyses in Excel. Today we are starting SPSS, and also there are some analyses I felt are much more understandable in Excel, in SPSS, especially social science analysis that we're going to be treating, which we didn't do in Excel. If you remember, there were some I said I would do in SPSS, and also there are some analysis we did in Excel that we will still reiterate again and show how to use SPSS to do them. So I want us to sit back and let's dive in straight into SPSS. Alright, what's SPSS? SPSS is actually a short notation for statistical package for social sciences, and it is used by various kind of researchers for complex statistical data analysis. SPSS software package was created for the management and statistical analysis of social science data. Now, SPSS was specifically created for those in the social sciences. Those who are doing pure statistics, you might not necessarily use this a lot, but it's always good to know it because there's still some research that you might still need to use SPSS. But if you are into social science, then this is basically for you. So we are going to be doing our introduction under three subheadings. Number one, environment, data set, and data set coding. So these are the three subheadings we'll be looking at in our today's video. So the SPSS environment is made up of three main windows. We have the data editor. Under the data editor, we have our variable view and our data view. Our data view and variable view. When we go into the SPSS practical, I'm going to show you guys all these. Then we have our output viewer, where the output are printed. Then we have our syntax editor. These are the three main windows we have in the SPSS environment. If you open SPSS, these are the three first windows you are most likely going to interact with. Although we have other windows which for me personally I hardly use them, maybe the chart editor once in a while, but all these are also other windows that SPSS environment have, but these are the three main ones that you will definitely be interacting with sooner or later. Now the data sets. Now SPSS takes three main types of data: the nominal data, ordinal data, and scale data. Now we're treating the nominal data here. Nominal data are data that have no order. The categories are mutually exclusive. That means correspondence must belong to one. Example. Now in this kind of thing, you don't generally have any order. There are data sets that do not have order, and you must belong to one group. Example, gender, you must either be a male or a female. Marital status, you must either be single or divorced or this thing, and there is no order in particular also, and there is no one that is higher than the other. Apparently there is nothing like stratification here. So that is just what we mean by nominal data. Then we have ordinal data. Ordinal data have a set of order or scale to it. These are data sets that follow an order or a scale. For instance, I think the examples will help us to understand how far are you satisfied with H-Tech classes so far. So very satisfied, satisfied, indifferent, dissatisfied, very dissatisfied. So this is a scale. If you check, it follows a scale. So in this case, it's an ordinal type of data. Or if you say what's your qualification, first school living certificate, water, WAEC/NECO, BSc, MSc, PhD. In this case, it is following an order. Is that okay? So this one is following an order. For you to get your MSc, you need a BSc. For you to get your PhD, you need an MSc. So you see that there is an order. So this is an example of ordinal data. Then we have our scale data. Scale data are just number data, direct number data. So a scale data can be of two types. Either it's a discrete scale data or a continuous scale data. So now what do we mean by discrete scale data? These are data that must be whole numbers. For instance, number of nights spent at the hospital or number of cigarettes smoked in a week. So all these are examples of what discrete data. Another then when we talk about continuous data are data that take any value. It can be whole numbers or with point, like a point in weight can be 50.2 and all those kind of things. But so they can have point, they can have decimals, but any value at all can be a continuous data. But discrete must be a whole number. So then data coding, I say this is the third thing we're going to be discussing under this introduction into SPSS. Now when we talk about data coding in SPSS, you can code your data. Remember, most social sciences, most of their surveys deal with what? Questionnaire, and those questionnaire you basically have nomenclatures, or let me say alphabet. So it's your responsibility to code them into SPSS. So the process of coding, this is the process of assigning numbers to non-numerical data. So data that are not necessarily numbered, you attach numbers to it. Like the example we treated earlier, how are you satisfied with HTech classes so far? Very satisfied is 5, satisfied is 4, indifferent is 3, dissatisfied is 2, and very dissatisfied is 1. So by the time we put this into SPSS, the process of putting this into SPSS is called data coding. That is it for the theoretical section. So what we see next, we're going to be showing these things practically in SPSS environment, and showing how to also do this data coding in SPSS environment. So see you then and later. Hello guys, and welcome to the practical section of introduction to SPSS. So once you open your SPSS, and this SPSS 26 version 26, all the versions still look alike. They have version 25, version, I think the lowest I've seen is version 13, but it goes all the way to 26. This one is quite a latest one, but I know there are about 2 versions higher than this, but 26 is quite okay. So once you open it, you see something like this. This is the first dialog box you're going to see. Your recent files are going to be here. Then if you want to open a new one, you can just come to new data set here, or you could most likely cancel this out. That's what I prefer to do. Let's cancel this out, and we have this. Now we can come to file and open our new window. Remember I told you we have 3 main windows. I'm going to show you those 3 main windows. This is our data view window, right? This is it, the first one I mentioned. I think data view window, yeah, that's it. Then our syntax window. Now SPSS has a programming language attached to it. That is what gave us the syntax viewer, that syntax viewer window. There are times where you want a little bit flexibility in your analysis that these drop down menus here cannot give you. If you check here, you're going to be seeing different menus here. All these different menus, there is a time that this is not what you are looking for, the analysis you are looking for it's not, you don't want it exactly the way they bring it out here. So you could use the syntax window. So all you need to do is to come to here, syntax, and here you write codes. When we go into Python, we are going to see more of that. But I want you to know that it's a possibility in SPSS, and people use it quite often when they need a little bit tweak from what SPSS normally provides. So this is our syntax editor window, and then our output window. Let me save this. If I come here and I let our output window is where our output goes to, because we have not done any analysis, it can't show. But let's just do a simple analysis so that I can show you the output view window. But if you remember that if you go back a bit to the theoretical part, you discover that the data view has two windows under it, or two tabs under it: the data view and the variable view. So what's the data view? The data view is where you put in your data. Your variable view is where you define each data that you are putting in. Remember I told you that we have three types of data: nominal, ordinal, or nominal. And there are some other features that you define here. Even your coding, you do your coding under this variable view. Then your data view is where the actual output comes out. Okay, so let's just do a simple instance. Let's say we are collecting the name, gender, age, and how satisfied you are with each class so far. We just have 4 variables. So we want to just create a simple research for it, so that it can help us to practice both our coding, beginning coding, because we'll still go into coding much more, coding our data much after now. Then to help us see our output window. So let's do that quickly. So here this is where you define the variable. Let's say here is name. The type of this variable, since it's name, is going to be string. Let's say we want to increase it, we want it to be able to contain some of our African names are very long, so let's just say 15. So I use it automatically here is what nominal. So align left and all that. So that is all. So if you go to your data view now, you can see name. So let's say the name is Marcel. So I have my name here. Okay. So let's go to our variable view. Our variable view, the next thing I said we are going to talk about is what? Is gender. Now in gender is a nominal variable, but we can also code it. If you want to use it for analysis, you will need to code it. So in this case, we can still say that this is a string, right? But under our values, we can code it. We can say we want male. Okay, value. We want 1 to be what? Male. And we want 0 to be what? Female. So I click OK, and it's still a nominal. So if I go to my data view now, and my gender, if I put 1, so 1 is what? Is a male. Now, any analysis you want to do, you have to code it. If you are just putting it for putting sake, which most likely you will not be doing, you can just put it like that. But if you want to use it for an analysis, then you need to. You can't do any analysis with name, but you definitely do some analysis with gender. So that is how to code it. Now, the next thing I said we want to talk about is age. Age. So age is a numerical reality. The numerical reality, but we don't need a decimal place for age, since it's a discrete scale data, and here it's a scale data. All right. Then last and not the least, how satisfied are you with H-Tech class? So let's just call this satis. satisfaction, and then here we can leave this as numeric. Then here we can now type in what we want to type in, how satisfied. Now, one thing I need you to know here is that why you can't put this one here is that your name here must not have any space or any must not have any space. I think here is one S or any. It follows a very strict this thing. If you double click here, like for instance, if I put percent here, you see that it will tell me that illegal character. So you can't put space, you can't put number or anything under this name, but in this label it gives you the liberty to explain the data set better, so that if somebody sees satisfaction and the person doesn't understand what it means, from here you can understand what that satisfaction actually means. So we can come here now under values and define our variables. So we say name, I say name, satisfied, so very satisfied. What am I doing? Here is 5, sorry. Then here's the label, very satisfied. Then here we have 4, satisfied. Here we have 3, indifferent. Here we have 2, is satisfied, and here we have 1. Hope this is not the case for anybody. Very dissatisfied. Don't mind my spelling. Satisfied. Okay. So we have this now. Okay, no spelling required. So I'll just click OK, and we have this. So what's this? Remember here we choose that this is an ordinal data. So if I come to my data view and let me see my age 25 and satisfaction, we put satisfaction, I said I'm 5, so I'm very satisfied. So you can now use this for your analysis. So that's just the elementary, that's what there is into data coding. So let's say we have another person here. Let's say we have Nduka. Nduka is a male. Let's say age 27, and let's say 3, indifferent. So are you seeing? So we have Prosper. Let's say Prosper is a male. 3. And then let's see here we have 5, and the females will say, I'm not picking any female. I've seen very few female assignments, that's why. Let me see. Okay, I think I've seen this. Kinelo, female. Now instead of typing female here, I can just type 0. It will recognize that it's female. Let's say 20, and let's say 4. So now with this, we can run an analysis with this. Which analysis do we do now? Okay, but before we do that, let me quickly explain. This is for saving. So this is for open data. This is for saving your document. This is for printing. This is to recall recent use dialog. This undo and redo. This to locate a particular place in your data set. If you see a real data set, they normally used to be very large. So this to locate a particular case. This is to go to variable. If the here is very long. Maybe we have up to 30 variables. This you can easily use this to locate. This is descriptive statistics and all that. Okay, maybe let's just run descriptive statistics on this. Beautiful. So now our output. This is our output viewer. This is our output viewer. Now our output viewer has two sections. The left hand side is what is telling you all what we have here. So if you come, you can reduce this. By the time you have so many output, any output you get, it's going to be printing them here. So you can easily use this to locate your output. So it's telling us that the mean age is this, standard deviation, maximum and minimum, and range is 7 and all that. So this is our output viewer. The extension for this file is .spv, and the extension for the normal SPSS file is .sav. Please take note of that. SPV, the output file, and SAV, the Excel file. Also, another thing we need to note in this introduction class is that yes, as you can see it here, SPV here. So let's just say this is our DBA season 1. Save this. Alright, I think there are some permission issues there, so don't save, don't worry. Alright, so this is just all there is. Another thing I need you to know is that you can import data sets from Excel into SPSS. Is that okay? I need you to know that you can actually import data. You can import .xls files, you can import .csv files automatically here. Or if you have raw data from the field, you can impute them here.